hometown village of Donadea in North County Kildare, situated here close to the County Meath boundary, was the location for the 2015 Arts, Crafts and Trade Fair. The venue itself was the local Church of Ireland's place of worship, St. Peter's, adjacent to the Donadea Castle ground. Taking into consideration the recent bad weather during the month of December, a nice crowd of people did manage to show up on the day and were pleasantly surprised by the high level of skills and products available to them. Inside, the church pews were packed with displays and exhibitors, using all modes of transport to get here, some of them even arriving on horseback. On entering the building, the exhibition was in full swing, with a neat arrangement of cards for all occasions, personalised on request and totally produced by handcraft. Also on display was a collection of impressions burned onto a selected piece of flat wood by a pyrographic system, and an impression of your choice was available by this method also. The clothing section also brought its own impetus to the show, with some great displays here in wool fibre art system, and also some articulate needlework resulting in beautiful tapestry, embroidery and crochet.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
isn't he? He died there. There's some nice stuff on it.
Next item up for mention here was the wood carving display. And some very neat work carried out on site here, which included carvings of castles, public houses, Georgian and Edwardian buildings, and Irish thatched cottages, just to name but a few. It turned out on this occasion that the exhibitor here also had a detailed knowledge of local history, and when he agreed to share his experience with us in relation to the castle and its environs, we grabbed the opportunity in both hands.
If I could get
Yeah.
you do a bit of stuff yourself. I showed you the road. Just a door and a few shells in it, that's what it is.
The makers of baskets and creels and design wickerwork has always been a huge craft in Ireland here in bygone days. The mass migration of people during the 17 and 1800s to other parts of the world took those skills to a different level where they are still flourishing today.
Yeah, she can come in. No, we can. Yeah. It's great for you. Yeah. Yeah. Put it easy down from the
We were reliably informed here today that this had been an old Norman settlement from earlier times, and that a succession of stately homes had appeared here in the centuries past. Sir Gerald Aylmer and his wife Mary Nugent constructed a new castle here in the early 1600s. It also came with large tracts of land. As was the case in those days, the Aylmers became the local landlords to the area, where they controlled, managed and rented portions of land to local tenant farmers. Another building of note here is Connolly's Public House at Ballacrossroads. Crossroads. Where the property stands today, back then it was the local rent office to the Aylmer estate. The sacred church that once stood the congregation in great stead for 200 years has now fallen to ruin, encompassed by the old graveyard which was closed to burials in 1915, to be replaced by a new site at Dunmurry Hill, presented to the parish by the Aylmer family. The present church, which was built in the early 1800s and consecrated for parochial worship in 1813, has its own story to tell. The finances to carry out the construction was boosted by a £1,000 loan from Sir Fintan Aylmer. The most notable features within its walls is the family monument, situated on the south wall of the chancel, and the appropriate inscripted monuments positioned on the interior walls. The building itself is in pristine condition, and we are assured that it will continue to serve the community for years to come.